Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Q1 FY25 earnings conference call of Symphony Ltd, hosted by IIFL Securities Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Hardik Rawat from IIFL Securities Limited. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Rawat.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of IIFL Securities, I welcome everyone to Symphony's 1Q FY25 earnings conference call. We have the pleasure of having with us the senior management team of Symphony, led by the Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Achal Bakeri, Managing Director, Corporate Affairs, Mr. Nrupesh Shah, and Group CEO and Executive Director, Mr. Amit Kumar. Without further delay, I will now hand over the floor to the management for their opening remarks, which shall then be followed by a Q&A session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Hardik. Good afternoon. This is Achal Bakeri. I welcome all participants to this conference call. The customary safe harbor statements apply. I would like to say that we've had an excellent quarter, and we believe that this is not a flash in the pan. Symphony has turned the corner, and so has 3 of its 4 subsidiaries. The 4th subsidiary too is in the process of turning the corner, and we believe that we have, the future is much brighter for us than the last few years have been. I will now request our Managing Director, Mr. Nrupesh Shah, to walk us through the financial numbers, after which we are all available to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much. Nrupesh Shah.
Welcome you to Financial Year 25 Q1 earnings presentation, and good afternoon to all of you. So coming to performance highlights for June quarter on a consolidated basis, top line stands at 531 crore, up from 302, 76% YOY growth, resulting into consolidated EBITDA margin of 21%, almost double to last year in terms of the percentage, and absolute amount wise 112 crore, leading to PAT of 88 crore versus 24 crore, that is 16.6%. For the first time in the history of Symphony, in any quarter, we crossed the milestone top line of 500 crore, and this is by far the highest quarterly console, standalone, as well as subsidiaries as a block together, top line as well as PAT number. For Symphony India, the top line is 373 crore, up from 172, that is 116% growth. EBITDA margin 82 crore versus just about 7 crore, and PAT at 69 crore, up from 14 crore, that is 375%, translating into 18.4% of the top line. This is console minus Symphony India, that is subsidiaries or overseas revenue except exports for YOY, not just Symphony India, but subsidiaries as a block. Turnover has been 158 crore, up by 22%. EBITDA of 29 crore, up by 41%, and PAT more than double, of course on a low base, up from 9 crore to 20 crore. But again, this has been considering the kind of the subsidiaries we had to face and turn around and COVID time, etc., it's really coming out with decent number. About the performance highlights for June quarter. So standalone performance is driven, of course, by strong summer and heat wave, but it's not just only on account of that. Many things also came into order, and whatever strategies and efforts and Symphony transformation phase 3 which we were talking about all help to lead to this performance. Eventually, it is on account of product, penetration, and perseverance. So this performance is also on account of tremendous penetration, and we believe that there are miles to go for semi-urban and rural markets, most befitting product portfolio and range at every price point and for every territory. D2C has been a growth driver, which is 100% prepared for us, and our entry in adjacent product category has also received overwhelming response. Yeah, so we talk about this. By the way, during the quarter, even LSV has also seen a decent traction. That is ducted and industrial air cooler. The decent improvement in EBITDA and hence PAT margin is on account of expansion in gross margin. D2C segment has reached to a critical mass and scale, and very happy to share that its EBITDA margin percentage is now in line with normal trade or general trade, which until last year was negative. And as you know, B2C or e-commerce is a segment where lot can be done. Again, on account of decent growth in top line, there has been substantial operating leverage because to an extent fixed costs remain almost around the same level. And apart from Symphony India, it is particularly Inco Mexico and GSK China have also come out with decent number. So we'll also like to share about the brand performance, because ultimately that matters the most, what consumers think about and what kind of the brand pool is. So Symphony share in Google search for air cooler category was more than 60%. Means if there have been more than 100 million searches, then 60 million plus searches have been just for Symphony. All other brands and unorganized players put together less than 40%. Second important figure is YouTube and OTT search in June quarter has been mind-blowing 540 million plus impressions and 130 million plus views have been registered. Number of prospective customers visited on our D2C website in last 12 months were in excess of 4 million. And during the summer, we carried out industry's biggest and impactful and still value for money out of home campaign. Again, the data as showing in this slide can be easily cross-verified from respective search engine or YouTube, etc. And we also came out with the innovative sales channel that is getting Symphony air cooler in 10 minutes by delivery through Blanket. Of course, it was in selected cities, but it was also a runaway success. About overseas subsidiaries, as I said earlier, it has been a highest ever quarterly revenue, EBITDA as well as PAT, despite climate technology has not delivered up to the mark. Yeah. About Inco Mexico, YOY, its revenue grew by 46%. This is on top of strong June 23 quarter, in which YOY its top line grew by 38%, and PAT has grown by 77% on top of 52% PAT growth in June 23 quarter. Yeah. Climate technology, demand headwind persists. Also, some of the local macro and microeconomic factors have also played a role. However, on account of successful execution of Part 1, despite degrowth in top line, we could contain the EBITDA as well as PAT. And business transformation, including Part 2, is progressing as planned. About GSK China, it has seen a strong positive top line as well as bottom line, as you would have observed, almost for last 2 years. After continuously bleeding for 3 years and financial support from Symphony India, quarter after quarter, it is improving, mainly on account of CODB, which we could reduce substantially. We rationalized the operations, and also happy to share that out of about 59 crore of loans granted by Symphony to GSK China in June quarter, plus in the month of July so far, 7 crore has been repaid. Hence, remaining outstanding is 52 crore. And considering current year's business plan of GSK, we are quite hopeful and there is a decent visibility of additional repayment of loan.
In GSK China, I would also like to add that it is turning out to be a source of finished goods and product for subsidiaries in China, in Mexico and in Australia. So the outsourcing of manufacturing that we have done in Australia and in Mexico has been partly outsourced to our subsidiary in China, GSK, and that has also resulted in its improved performance. It has been a win-win situation. The cost of product manufactured, or COGS, has reduced overall. So it is, so the company in China is able to retain a profit and at the same time offer the product to to the sister companies at a lower cost than they were manufacturing themselves. So the synergies here is a case of synergies finally kicking in.
Coming to consolidated financial waterfall chart. So in June 23 quarter, EBITDA margin was 9.3%, which has grown to 21% on account of improvement in gross profit margin percentage by 1.5 at a console level, while employee cost, advertisement and sales promotion, freight, rent, travel and other expenses have seen a decent positive, mainly on account of huge increase in top line. So, if we see the picture in totality of trailing 12 months at a console level, the top line stands at 1385 crore, up by 19%, and PAT stands at 212 crore, up from 110 crore, that is 92% growth, and PAT margin has improved almost by 600 bps. And importantly, we'd also like to highlight, despite this, in line with our philosophy and business model, whether on a standalone or for subsidiaries, our capital employed has remained the same, which is 301 versus 300 crore, driving ROCE as well as RONW very well. Coming to standalone financials, this is the waterfall mechanism, almost the same factor driving the growth. And on trailing 12 months basis, for our standalone basis, that is 1st July 23 to 30th June 24, top line is almost about 1,000 crore, up by 17%. PAT 207 crore, up from 154 crore, that is 35%. And capital employed in standalone business is just about 24 crore. And now as on 30th June, treasury stands at about 491 crore versus 342, and hence board of directors deem it appropriate to have a decent payout, which I will cover in detail later on. About subsidiaries financials, company-wise, Inco Mexico, it is for the first time in any of the quarter it touched or crossed the turnover of 100 crore, up from 77 crore to 112 crore, and PAT up from 10 crore to 17 crore. Climate Technology, it is subdued performance, turnover down from 51 to 44 crore. However, as you can see, still we could contain the PAT, mainly because of part one of the transformation has been executed.
And however, we believe that this is due to certain, we had the orders with the, we could have done certainly better than this, but there were delays in logistical delays which did not permit us to execute many of the orders that we already had. Had that not happened, then we would have certainly surpassed last year's sales number. So we believe that by the end, for the financial year, for the rest of the year, there is significant potential to do better than last year in Australia.
About GSK China, turnover up from 12 to 16 crore, and at a PAT level from -1 to 3 crore after providing for interest on loan to Symphony of almost similar amount, that is 3 crore. About Symphony Brazil, of course, this was completely off season, so not really relevant. But as reported earlier, Brazil witnessed excellent summer, and in GSK China, Brazil, Inco Mexico, as well as Symphony India, the inventory is below normal level at a trade level as well as at a company level.
We have to remember that in Brazil, the summer is, our winter months are their summer months. So the last quarter was actually their winter. And since we only sell coolers in that country, they had virtually no sale. I might also like to add that GSK China also supplies coolers to Brazil. So it is turning out to be a source of products for all the three international subsidiaries.
About shareholders' payout, so it is our stated payout policy that at least 60% of the PAT to distribute to the shareholders. So today morning in the board meeting, board of directors have approved buybacks amounting to rupees 71.40 crore, that is 10% of the net worth at a price of rupees 2,500, in addition to interim dividend at 50%, that is 1 rupee dividend on a face value of rupees 2, amounting to about 7 crore. So all in all, total payout of about 78 crore. And in addition to that, at a company level, there will be buyback taxation and incidental expenses. So all put together, total payout will be close to 97 crore. Now, coming to new products, so we thought it appropriate. This is the most opportune time to come out with and launch path-breaking large range of air coolers, and in all, 17 models across 6 range have been launched. I will request Amit Kumar to explain that.
For the coming summer season, we are introducing 17 new models as the mentioned, and these are spread across 6 product ranges, out of which 4 ranges are completely new format, new performance levels that we are coming up with. And in addition, we have 2 products that we are adding to the successful Sumo and Jumbo ranges. So the 4 ranges that we are adding include the Silenzo range, which is India's quietest air cooler, lower in their sound levels by about 10 dB versus the current ranges that we have. We are also introducing the Air Force range, which is the high performance, high airflow product range that we are introducing, especially for the markets in North and Central India. We also have the Max Wind range, which is again a model focused on the desert cooler market, with additionally high air performance driven by exhaust fan model. Arctic Circle is the further upgrade of the successful Sumo 75 range. So it's a wider format, thinner in depth, delivering unparalleled cooling and high air performance. It is also being provided with a further upgrade to the iPure air filtration technology that we have. So Arctic Circle comes with iPure Plus as a standard feature into the product. We are introducing Jumbo 200 as the largest capacity, largest airflow model in the long successful Jumbo range, which is especially popular in northern and eastern parts of the country. And we are introducing Sumo 60 as an upgrade into the window air coolers that we have. So it's the next generation product for the successful Sumo Junior range. And all of these products that we talked about will be available in the market for the coming summer 2025 season.
So we are formally launching them in a distributor conference being held tomorrow. So the 70 models are going to be unveiled.
Yes, and along with that, we are introducing the storage water heater range from Symphony, representing the innovation and the high quality performance that the brand is known for, and also coming up with features that, in our view, offer consumers a new dimension in bathing. We believe the range that we are introducing gives a luxury bathing experience to consumers, basis in particular 2 unique features that we are adding to our product. The first is the proprietary Puropod cartridges or filters that we are adding to our water heater. They provide 9-layer water filtration technology for the water passing through our water heater, which makes the water softened, helps reduce hair fall, as well as helps improve the skin friendliness of the water, being water coming from our water heater. In addition to that, we are introducing the AI-enabled smart controller, which comes with next generation features in controlling water heater performance. These features include timer settings, water temperature settings, section child safety mode, also alarms and error codes in case there is some malfunction into the heater. So these are again supported by our AI technology, and which we are embedding now into the water heater. The water heaters are coming under three ranges. The first, the flagship range is the Symphony Spa, which is a 5-star range and will come in three different sizes. Next, we have the Symphony Soul, which is in a more conventional shape, cylindrical form with the plastic body, and this will also come in three sizes. The third in the range is Symphony Sauna, which is again a traditional cylindrical shape and metal body, and comes in three sizes. Yes, both these ranges, Soul and Sauna, in addition to Spa, will have the fluoropod technology coming as standard accessory with them.
You might wonder how come we are getting into water heaters after having maintained for a long time that we are an air cooler company. So to that, I would like to say that we back in 1994 we had actually introduced the country's first, in fact the world's first, all plastic water heater with advanced features like polyurethane foam insulation, variable thermostat, and advanced safety features. Those were as revolutionary in the field of water heaters as our coolers were when they were launched. It was because of our financial stress that we were in the early 2000s and in the 2000s that we had to exit from the category so as to conserve resources and focus on air coolers. But this is a category to which we are no strangers. Like I said, we in fact created this sort of reinvented this category, and although we exited from it, we set the benchmark for the entire industry, and all other water heaters that you see in the market today from all the companies owe their existence to what we had done back in the 90s. Until the 90s, all water heaters by the largest manufacturers who had been around for 40-50 years were all in metal, all simple cylindrical shapes with no product differentiation whatsoever. And although we had to exit, but our product was reverse engineered and adopted by the entire industry and has become the industry standard for the last 30 years. So we have now re-entered the category and with once again features which will become industry defining and which will be significant differentiators from anything available in the market. One primary reason to also get into this category was that for our online businesses, whether it is e-commerce or D2C, what we need is continuous presence in the market. We need continuous visibility. And with this product category, we will be continuously visible so that we are able to build on the traffic that we generate on the visitors that we have on our website, on our D2C or on e-commerce, and we are able to essentially capitalize on that. Prior to this, in fact, a year and a half ago or so, we had also introduced tower fans, which are in one sense an adjacency to coolers. Essentially, tower fans are, one can say, an air cooler without water. So we have already moved away from coolers into tower fans, and this is one step further. I might also add that in geographies other than India, whether it's in Australia and in Mexico, we have been selling heaters, room heaters, not water heaters, room heaters, so cooling and heating products have been in our portfolio forever. So Australia, in fact, more of our turnover comes from heating than from cooling, and in Mexico too, heaters form a significant part of our turnover. So having counter seasonal products is again something which does happen in Symphony, not in India, in other geographies, and it is happening once again in Symphony after a gap of maybe 15-20 years.
Yeah, so with water heaters for round years, we will have like adjacent product category, that is surround, LSC as well as water heaters. And of course, because of our now decent presence in Brazil as well as Australia, which are in southern hemisphere, air cooler sale will happen during our winter over there. So in a way, in various ways, we are trying to optimizing the business by de-risking the modes. Coming to outlook, again, as per our IR policy, we will resist from giving specific guidance about the next quarter or year in terms of the number or percentage of the growth. However, June a lot below normal trade inventory in India, Mexico and Brazil, path-breaking and industry-leading innovation products, increasing focus on sustainable as well as eco-friendly products. We do have now geography-specific products in the country as well as in respective subsidiaries and in respective subsidiaries under respective brands, as well as thrust on semi-urban and rural market as well as adjacent product category. So, by the way, जैसे टाइगर जिंदा था वैसे एयर कूलर भी जिंदा है. I believe there were certain skepticism expressed about the category, about the potential, about the growth. So certainly we believe that in terms of the category, it's very young. I think lot to do, a lot can happen, and certainly there is a huge growth potential in many respects. And even in the respect of new launch, in our history for the first time, at a time, simultaneously we have launched 17 new models across 6 range. And again, to launch them, lot has gone behind that for many quarters and years. And about, as Achal Bhai expressed, it is our subsidiary company and Symphony India which are working in tandem with each other in terms of complementing research and development, sales and marketing. Yeah, so with this we are open for question answer.
Thank you very much, sir. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask questions may press star and 1 on their touchtone phone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use only handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. You may please press star and 1 to ask questions. The first question is from the line of Manoj Gori from Equirus Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. And sir, congratulations on extremely good set of performance during the current quarter.
Thanks.
So my first question is, given that we have seen normal to severe summers in the current season, and also channel would have faced some demand supply challenges. In this scenario, with any fear of stockout situation in the next summer, can we see inventory levels or inventory built-up exercises in terms of volumes probably may increase as compared to earlier period, and we may see relatively better 2Q and 3Q performance as well?
No, so as I said, as per our IR policy, we will resist from giving any specific guidance quarter-wise or otherwise, but we very much maintain that, as we have conveyed in the past, that in Symphony India as well as on a console basis, on a CAGR basis, I think in line with few years before, the CAGR growth what we had, we should register that kind of growth. Secondly, because of stellar summer and demand of air cooler, I think many more avenues in terms of dealer distribution network, including further penetration in rural and semi-urban, for sure has opened up, apart from many alternate modern channels.
Right, sir. So I was not actually asking about any specific numbers, but it was more from a directional point of view, like how the channel behavior has been. So that was regarding that. Secondly, on the subsidiary business, again, at the subsidiary level, obviously the revenue seems to be far stronger, and that was largely driven from IMCO. But margins, we have seen there has been marginal decline over there. CT, we have seen some pressure, though we have been able to maintain, though we have been able to control the cost. If we look at the overall margin improvement, it has been largely because IMCO contribution has been significantly higher. So if you can share your views on both the subsidiary at individual level, like how we see them in the coming years, and also of the cost of doing business that we were taking many initiatives. Probably has this been completely implemented, or we might see some more actions in the coming times?
So as far as Australia is concerned, there is the cost of doing business is in the process of being improved upon, and we have already come a long way from where we were when we acquired the company, but there still is some improvements which will happen in the months to come. We will finally be able to execute everything by June 2025. That is when our lease expires. Until then, we will still bear some overhead, which we don't need. But from thereafter, there will be almost no overhead or no CODB that we don't need, and our entire CODB reduction plan would have sort of fallen in place. Yeah. Like I said, much of it has already happened, and a little bit of it to go is this. And as far as sales and top line is concerned, we've introduced a lot of new products in the last 1 year, whether it is panel heaters, whether it is fireplaces. We're also betting big on reverse cycle air conditioners in Australia. By reverse cycle, I mean air conditioners which both cool and heat. So these products will also begin to gain traction and bear fruit. So I think in the next 12 months or maybe less, you will see the entire turnaround happen. So I think, many years ago when we acquired IMCO, and none of you were there then, about 15 years ago, we had a similar situation, and it took a few years for us to turn the corner. But once we did, things, we never looked back. And as you can see, we've, nobody talks today. I mean, we don't even remember today about the times that we faced when we first acquired IMCO. And we believe that a similar situation will arise in Australia as well. Like I said before, China is proving to be a company which will supply products to all the three international subsidiaries, whether made in its own factory in China or whether sourced from from other vendors in China. Products are being routed through them because they are able to source at a lower lower cost than subsidiaries are able to themselves. As a result, it benefits both the Chinese company as well as the other subsidiaries. So along with that, the business in China itself, the domestic market itself, has seen some improvement and is steadily improving. So all of this put together, we believe that the Chinese subsidiary is also now on a firm track towards being sustainable and profitable.
Thank you, sir. So lastly, we finally evaluated some of the other categories and we re-entered into water heaters, and we have launched 3 series as of now. Still early days, but how are we targeting to scale this business in the coming years? And now when we have already entered into storage water heaters, we would be open to evaluate other product categories in the coming years, especially in the electrical space.
Manoj, even in the past, whenever we were asked this question, we had always maintained that we will never say never. So that I still maintain that. Although I must also add that we are not actively considering any other category at the moment. We do not know what the future has in store for us, but as of now, like I said, we are not looking at any other category. The water heater category itself is a fairly large category and a competitive category, and we have a fair amount of work to do to grow in that category. Likewise, our tower fans also have, we believe, in our view, has great potential, and we have our work cut out to build that portfolio of products. And of course, our industrial cooler business, is increasing at a respectable rate, but there still is a long runway ahead of us for that. So as of now, we are going to focus on these categories. But then again, if some compelling idea comes along or opportunity comes along, we will certainly evaluate those. But at this moment, we are not looking at any.
Sure, sir. Got it, sir. Thanks a lot, sir, and wish you all the best, sir.
Thank you very much, Manoj.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from the line of Abhishek Ghosh from DSP Mutual Funds. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. So just a couple of questions.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Mr. Ghosh, the audio is not clear, sir.
Is it better now? Hello?
Still that static is there. Okay, you may proceed now. It is much better.
Is better? Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity, sir. So just in terms of the your entry into the water heater category, in terms of distribution, if you can help us explain in terms of what's the distribution channel and what will be the difference between the current one and or will it be largely overlapping? Just some sense around that will be helpful, sir.
So to begin with, we will concentrate on the channel that we are already in. And as we go along and as we scale up, we'll certainly diversify into other channels. I won't be able to say anything more specifically other than that. but it is going to be a phased go-to-market strategy. As I said, we will in first phase we will focus on some of our channels where we are already selling coolers, and then we will see how we going forward as how we expand the channel.
So, sir, when you have taken this or while you have considered this decision, you have already taken a feedback from your channel in terms of what proportion of the channel already sells the water heater also as a product category, and would it be fair to assume that 20-30% of the channel does sell this product category as well, or is there an estimation there?
You can safely say that, yes.
Okay. And sir, just the other thought in terms of the, would you have any regional biases when you get into this product, or will it be a pan-India launch? How should we look at it, or will you go first in the West, or is there a thought out as far as the regional presence is concerned when you ramp up this water heater category?
No, it will be a phased launch. What will be phase 1 and what will be phase 2, and therefore it's still being worked on. But it will be a phased launch. It will not be a sort of a big bang all India launch at one go.
Okay. So this season you'll be able to capture some of the market shares in this season. Is that fair estimate, or are you targeting it for next season? How should we look at it?
We will capture somewhat in this season, yes.
Okay. And this will be like your cooler business, also outsource model, where you'll have to deal with and set up an ecosystem of vendors. That's the way to look at it as far as the manufacturing is concerned. Yes,
it will be third-party manufacturing, and so the ecosystem sort of already exists, and we have tapped into that. Yeah.
Okay, great. So the other thing is on the domestic air cooler market.
Mr. Ghosh, I would request you to kindly rejoin the queue for follow-up questions, please.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We'll take the next question from the line of Aditya Bhartiya from Investec. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir.
Hello, Aditya.
So my first question again is on water heaters. So just wanted to understand in your internal targets, how are you thinking about this category scaling up in the next 3 to 4 years? What's the kind of target that you are having in terms of market share? And like you mentioned that 20-30% of our existing channel would be selling water heaters. At the same time, what proportion of water heaters would be getting sold from our existing channel? Would like to understand that as well.
Aditya, honestly, it's a little premature to get to that level now. So I think why don't we come back to this a year from now?
Sure, sir. Sure. And so my second question is on air cooler performance this quarter, wherein it appears that summers had set in a little late in northern part of the country, which otherwise is the key market for the category. Despite that, we managed to deliver exceptional revenue growth. So just wanted to understand, have we seen the proportion of revenues that get derived from other regions increasing sharply in first quarter, or is it that not really picked up? Essentially just trying to understand, is this category becoming a little more broad-based?
Oh, very much so. Very much so. It is, we have seen sort of demand in action from across the country. So as Nupesh said a little while ago, there was a time when there was a feeling that this category seems to be sort of on its sort of the sun seems to be setting on this category, and this summer has proven that is far from true, and we have seen demand for this from markets where we have never seen demand like this, non-traditional markets like the south or the east and the far east or the northeast. So which are not traditionally never really big air cooler markets. So we have this year has sort of reset the equations across the country. And by the way,
in that connection, if we talk about summer-related any industry, of course, in cooling industry, air cooler as a category vis-a-vis fan and air conditioner has registered the highest growth. But we believe that in our estimate, vis-a-vis any summer-related industry, air cooler has registered the highest growth. So whether it is beverages, whether it is ice cream or any other products. So that is the kind of the potential and the future and future runway.
Great. That's very encouraging.
There are many reasons for that, and very convincing reasons apart from commercial reasons.
And again, this is not only in India, but even in Mexico, where the category has existed for a very, very long time. It seems that now there is a sort of a revival in the category, and the category has become a mainstream category. It is not really a fringe product anymore. It's become mainstream for the retailers and for consumers. As much as air conditioners or refrigerators or televisions are.
Great, sir. And last bit, if you could...
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Bhatia. I would request you to kindly rejoin for follow-up questions, please.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We'll take the next question from the line of Pulkit Patani from Goldman Sachs. Please go ahead.
Thank you for taking my questions, and sir, congratulations. I think phenomenal performance. So my first question is on the industrial cooling business now. It's been a very long time since we've been hoping that there is growth. You did mention in the presentation, I don't know how comfortable you are with sharing the numbers in this quarter, but more importantly, can you explain what is the kind of orders you are getting there? Like, can one say that industrial cooling is something which also as a category is seeing inflection and we could see much higher growth into the future, or is it just because this was a terrible summer that you saw more orders, but you really can't say that it's an inflection in this category? So your commentary and thoughts on the industrial cooling products is what we'd like to hear.
Thank you, Pulkit. That's a very good question, and I wish I had a better answer for you. But I wouldn't say that we are seeing an inflection point. It has seen a significant tick in sales, but as a percentage of all sales, it is still in the sort of the single digit, high single digits. So it is still not a significant contributor to the overall revenue, and we absolutely, despite whatever we believe that the potential exists, and that time will come when the inflection point will be reached. Now the inflection point could be very different. For example, what happened, what I said just a little while ago about the domestic coolers. Although the domestic cooler category was a very large category, it seems that this summer was another inflection point. So likewise, in industrial coolers down the road, we believe that there could be a significant inflection, and but that day has unfortunately not yet come. We are working on it, and we are focused on it, and but I think it's a matter of patience and just perseverance, and not giving up on it. Yeah.
Sure. So any numbers you can share on that? Still early.
I would request you not to ask that question.
Sure, sir. So my second question is on water heaters. See, in water coolers, we are early entrants. We have a substantial market share. So your right to win is very visible there. Can you highlight in water heaters what is a right to win? Because it's a pretty well-covered category, multiple brands, and people have set up large capacities actually in-house
to manufacture and sell this. So just wanted to know, like in our internal thinking, when we decided to get into this category, and I can understand it in a way helps us even out our sales because we've been a very summer-centric company to sort of a more evenly spread out. But what is the other right to win that we have in the water heater category which prompted us to get into this?
Yeah. So, Pulkit, again, very, very pertinent question, and that's something that when we think of doing anything outside coolers, that's something that clearly plays on our mind. That what is it that we bring to the table, be able to convince our customers that they are solution. So right now we are focusing on two things. One is continuous innovation into the product. I'm not sure if you could go through the deck that we presented about the water heater. Before launching the products, we had a chance to do a detailed sort of mapping of the sector, and we identified a couple of value propositions that, in our belief, are not being offered by the products existing in the market, which is what we have tried to cover through the smart AI controller and the PuroPod purification system. So coming back, these are specific, but the answer, the first leg of the answer is continuous innovation into the category to bring value proposition that consumers are looking for but not available. And the second is leveraging our reach and the brands connect with the consumers to offer high quality premium products delivering the right performance, leveraging across the channels in terms of reach and consumer connect. So these are the two sort of legs on which we believe we will be able to drive the water heater category growth for the company.
Sure, sir. I'd like to understand this a little better, so maybe I'll request for a separate call later on this issue. Thank you.
Certainly, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from the line of Rehan from Equitree Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, thanks for the opportunity. Wanted to congratulate the management on such great numbers. So I just had a question. On a YOY basis, could you tell us more on the value versus volume growth? How much volume growth has the company seen?
So, by the way, due to competitive reasons, because air cooler per se, we are the only listed company. And hence earlier we were sharing that detail, but unfortunately now we are unable to share because it goes against business interests. But you can very well assume that it has been very strong volume growth also. And of course, depending upon the summer geographical requirement, it's a sales mix also which plays the role. And as you know, we have low price product to highly priced product, so it depends on that too.
Okay. Secondly, wanted to understand, as per some last interaction that we've had, I wanted to see on the follow-up.
I'm sorry to interrupt. If this is a follow-up question, you'll have to rejoin, sir.
No, it's the same question only.
Please continue.
Just wanted to ask whether has the company decided to take any price hikes basis the communication earlier?
Now, in the current quarter, you mean?
Going forward in the current quarter, you can share light on both.
Yeah. Of course. It will all be a strategic pricing. There will be, price increases in models, in some models, and in some there may not be. So it is all going to be, what serves us best in the market.
Okay. And just one last thing, what would be the margin profile that the heaters would probably get, the new product segment that we're trying to enter? What are the kind of EBITDA margins you're expecting?
Initially, it will be low, but as we scale up, it will certainly improve and be good.
Any range?
It is too early for that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from the line of Rahul Gajare from Haitong Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, sir, and congratulations for a very strong quarterly performance.
Thank you, Rahul.
Yeah. So the question that I have is again on the water heater, and I wanted to just try to address one aspect of the water heater. Just like we see in your air cooler business, you have placed the water heater products at a premium end of the industry with the kind of features that you've introduced, which clearly tells me that that is the only space that you are targeting. You have a sense of the industry size of the premium water heaters that you'd be targeting, because I think the industry would be in the range of some 3,500 odd crore.
Rahul, it is our we have three ranges. We are introducing three ranges, as Amit explained. Spa is going to be the most premium range, whereas sauna and Soul are not as premium. So they will be more sort of mid-market products. So they will be they will be fairly competitive.
Because by the looks of it, it did feel like you're targeting only the premium end,
No. See, that's the beauty of it. So we are going to be able to sell a premium-looking product at a competitive price.
With premium features and path-breaking features,
yes.
Value for money, and still competitive, and hence thought it appropriate to foray into this.
Sure. Okay, that's all that I had. Thank you very much, and all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pramod Amte from InCred Research. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. This is with regard to your international operations. Two questions on that.
Pramod, we can't hear you. Pramod, your voice is, we can hear you, but it's not very clear.
Yes, sir.
Is it better, sir, now?
Yes.
Yeah. So I have two questions with regard to your international operations. The first one is with regard to the China. There have been some scrappage incentives given for white goods. Does air cooler qualify for that, or is the competitor product like AC qualify? What's the repercussion for your operation? Second, if we have to look at your
question was not clear.
No, I was saying there are some scrappage incentives given by the China government for white goods, right? Recently, they for revival of the white goods sector. So in that, does the air cooler qualify, or ACs qualify, and hence it may affect your business?
No, it doesn't really affect us one way or the other.
Okay. And the second one is with regard to, if you look at your geography of operations, the per capita income profile of the customer is substantially different for each of the countries. So when you look at India and the air cooler outlook versus AC, how do these customers look at air cooler as a proposition versus ACs, and what is the uniqueness which continues to be there in those markets for a pull in this segment?
So, it's only in India where, unfortunately, people consider air cooler as the poor man's air conditioner. Whereas in other geographies, it is a product which is used for applications where an air conditioner is not feasible, or even as a substitute to air conditioners, and not necessarily a cheaper substitute. People use it for a variety of reasons. For example, in Australia or in the United States, people, or even in Mexico, people have whole house cooling because in dry climates, because they find that the cooling is much better than what an air conditioner provides. So it's not really, a poor man's air conditioner in those markets. Portable air coolers are used for outdoor applications, or for places where their whole house may be air conditioned, but the patio or the garage or the backyard may not be air cooled. So they'll put an air cooler next to the pool or in the backyard. So it's sort of used for applications where an air conditioner is either not possible or is not available. So it's not real. Even in the richest of homes, even in India, even in the richest of homes, there are air coolers. Even in last summer, when there was a shortage of air coolers, I was getting calls from people whose entire homes were air conditioned and still wanted air coolers for their gardens or their pets or their kitchens or their security cabins or their quarters of their domestic staff. So that's how it is. It's not really, I'm saying for the third time, but not a poor man's air conditioner.
Okay. Thanks for this detailed answer. All the best.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from the line of Mayur Parkeria from Wealth Managers India Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Mayur.
Good evening, sir. Yes, good evening, sir, and thank you for taking my question. And wish you very happy congratulations for achieving whatever set benchmarks you all had and coming back to the growth trajectory after very long periods of time and what is expected from Symphony. And wish you that you continue to do the same.
Thank you very much.
Having said that. Yes, sir. Having said that, sir, what we have seen in terms of seasonality, whenever we have had a phenomenal year ahead, post the June quarter, the September and December quarters equally, run up for us in a similar manner. May not be a very high quarterly growth, but surely it does match up and continue for us. So first question is, one is the historical past, this seasonal trend when we see that. And on the other side, suddenly the weather season in India in terms of monsoon has been very severe, and it has some coldness has also come and some weather change has come. Given these two things, do you believe that we will continue to have September and December quarters continue to be looking good in terms of forward booking and in terms of various trade channels? Or do you see that is it too early to take a call on that right now?
So Mayur, in these months from July to December, or in fact all the way up to maybe January or so, whatever sales that the company does goes only to the channel. The end customer does not buy in these months.
Right.
Never.
Yes.
But we believe that the current the current quarter and the quarter thereafter and the year as a whole should be fairly good. Since we do not give forward-looking statements, I will not be able to say anything more than that. But all in all, things are looking good.
Okay, that's great. Sir, second thing on this such a strong performance we've had, do you believe that standalone entity, when we look at margins of, I know it's a very big improvement in terms of June of 23, but in general, around the margins which we currently had around 21, 20 currently have, do you believe that it was slightly lower than what we could have achieved, or is there a reason which we would have spent on AMC that's a slightly discretionary, it's a choice on us, I understand that. But do you believe we could have done better and there is room to do better? And if then, what are those levers which we should look forward to? Thank you, sir, and that was from my side. So wish you all.
Yeah. So Mayur, that's a good question. In fact, we could have done better and we would have done better had there not been a demand-supply mismatch. We actually maybe left 70, 80 crores, 60, 70 crores, anybody's guess, worth of sales on the table. So we had the demand, but we couldn't cater to that demand because because of the demand-supply mismatch. So had that not happened, had we been able to cater to that demand, the margins closer to, if not higher than the numbers that we historically had.
But this has been also learning for us in terms of such summer. Of course, as you would have seen, YOY, we have fairly caught up with the demand. But again, current year, whatever we have witnessed, whether in terms of the production, meeting the demand, as well as supply chain, there have been decent amount of learnings, and we are implementing them.
Sir, with your permission, can I ask just one more question, sir?
Sorry?
Yeah, with your permission, can I ask one more question? Normally two I would have asked, but so can I take one?
I think...
I understand, sir. I'll come back with the question later and connect up.
Yeah, I think you have to get back into the line. Otherwise, Michelle will throw you out.
Thanks. I understand, sir. Surely. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We will take that as the last question for today. I would now hand over the conference to the management for their closing comments. Over to you, sir.
No, thank you for your participation, valuable support and inputs, and looking forward to meet all of you in Q2 conference call and as and when opportunity permits, maybe in investor meet or otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you, members of the management. On behalf of IIFL Securities Limited, that concludes this conference. We thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.
And I wish to thank IIFL Securities for hosting this conference call. So thank you, IIFL Securities too.
Hardik, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.